Welcome to the lighter side of RC After Dark. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm just getting this up on the big TV. There we go. You can see it up there. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Called this the Midsummer. Man, look at that BDX. Called this the Midsummer Live. Because it's the beginning of August. And it's a long weekend for us. I don't know if it's a long weekend for everybody. Let me just get the live chat here. There we go. Awesome. Hey, Victor. There we go. Just confirm you guys can hear me. Waz from Dubai, Raymond, Craig, David, Fred, Victor, Philip. 5 by 5. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you can hear me? All right, so we got a bunch of things tonight planned. Perfect, thank you, David. We got a bunch of cool things planned for tonight. We're quiet tonight. You guys just got me, and that's it. Just me. It's a long weekend, so some of our normals here. Russell just got back from a cruise. Congratulations, Russell. I know we had a good time. We chatted today on the phone. Ward was here earlier today, and both video and sound is okay. Awesome. Thank you. Ward was here earlier today, left around 2. He had some stuff to take care of, so Katie was just in the shop here just adding some stuff to the website, and we'll talk more about that. And yeah, so it's just me. Anyways, we've got a bunch of things tonight. The first thing that, since she's actually out here, is Cinder. So Cinder is, if you watch some of the videos, the F100 video, I did a little talking about Cinder. Yes, and Nez is here as well too, and they're getting along very well. So, which is nice. Nez isn't very open to many other cats, so it's nice to see her finally warming up to Cinder, and they hang out and play together, which is good. So anyways, we'll talk a little bit more about Cinder. But obviously, the F4 arrived. That was today's video, was the F4. We uncrated it last weekend before we left on our week-long trip. And yeah, so the F4 is here. If you didn't watch the video, I encourage you to watch the video. It is amazing. I mean, you can just see it in the background. It's amazing, but it's stunning. Just as we get into that plane, it's going to be magnificent. I'm really excited for it. It's just an absolute piece of art, and it's going to be sitting in this position for quite a while, so it'll be the backdrop for a lot of videos. So yes, the F4 is here, and Karf did a great job on this plane. Congratulations, David, as we said in the video. And yeah, magnificent aircraft. This is one of those aircraft that's kind of like, I mean, there's lots of peaks in the hobby. There's lots of peaks in turbine flying, but this one is definitely top notch. So very cool. What else? So the F4 arrived. We got Cinder. We'll talk a little bit about Cinder first here. So I think it was about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I forget exactly when, but we've got a, so we live on an acreage, and the closest road is about 150 feet that way, and like outside the shop doors that way. And then we've got the whole front of our house is all asphalt gravel stuff, and then all behind our property goes a gravel road. And our father-in-law, or my wife's dad, my father-in-law, lives in the suite in the basement. So there's an apartment down there that he lives in. So he was sitting outside one morning, early morning, and he's just looking down the gravel road, and he sees this black thing. He thought it was a piece of landscaping fabric, you know, the stuff you put down before you lay the gravel down. And he walks over to pick it up, and it was little Cinder. And she was tiny, like probably, she had all of her teeth, so she probably, just a guess, was about 4 to 5 weeks old. And so we picked her up. She was just hungry. She was bones. Like when you picked her up and felt her, she had no belly fat like babies do. She was just bones. Anyways, we brought her in. Katie fed her, got her a litter box, all that kind of stuff. Her first couple poops were just like pieces of grass and sticks. So obviously she was out there for a while. I don't know how long she was out there for. We've got lots of falcons and owls, foxes that live around us. And I'm surprised. I don't know how long she's been hanging out. I don't know where she came from. I don't know who was jerkish enough to drop her off on the road. I'm surprised she made it from that road, the main road, back here. I have no idea. Our closest neighbors are quite far away, the closest properties to us, so no idea. But if you are familiar with the cat distribution system, you know, you don't need to buy cats, they just show up. So that's another cat for us. So anyways, that's how Cinder came into our lives, and I guess we have another black cat, and she's a hoot. She's a sweetheart, she's awesome, and that's Cinder. So what else? Wall art, yes. So last weekend, we came back from Montana, and we were, yeah, that's actually a good point, David. Maybe one of the birds snagged her and she escaped. That's very good point, actually. So we're in Montana flying, doing some maiden flights. So we'll have those videos coming out as well too very soon, the F100 maiden. I wanted to mix it up with videos a little bit, so that's why we did the F4. The F4 is going to be a popular video. My channel needs a bit of a boost right now, and speaking of that, there's 31 people on here right now and only 16 thumbs up. So if you're on here, give the video a thumbs up, please. But release the F4 video, it'll be popular. Wednesday is the F100 final video. Channel members have already seen that. Next Saturday will be the F100 maiden video and 2 follow-up flights. So I think I'm going to pack those all together in one. And then the week after on Wednesday will be the F15 maiden. So that's it. We were at the Lethbridge event. Lark's field is called the Huck Fest. I actually won that last year and they held on to it for me. So that is a piece of metal that's been water jet cut, I think, and then it's powder coated. So that's obviously SR71. So thank you guys at the Lark's event. Awesome event. The field out there is just stellar. It's actually a full-scale runway and it's all grass. So it's just beautiful. It's like thick, luscious grass, and it's always a blast to go to that event. So Corsair scheme. We've decided on the Corsair scheme. The only pictures I have are on my phone. Perfect. I'll scroll back through the questions here as well too. So let me pull my laptop out. I can't remember the name of the scheme. Anyways, we've decided on the Corsair scheme. Maybe you guys need to wait a little bit until we actually start on the Corsair. But now with the scheme in place, I have decided, with the scheme decided, I've started ordering all the stuff. So TaylorMade is where I ordered the paint stencils and nomenclature from. I've never ordered from them before. Lots of people talk about their stuff, so that's what we're using to finish the plane. I've got the colors, the FS colors, and so we'll start getting the colors. It's a very different scheme, not one you normally see on the Corsair. It's not a racing scheme, it's a scale scheme, but I was looking for something different. So I also looked back through our chat. Kelly, the original owner, our good friend Kelly from Montana, and I kind of looked through our chat to see if he had a scheme like 100% picked out. I couldn't find anything, so that's why I'm going with something a little bit different. And we'll look it up in a little bit because I want to show you guys, especially you guys that come on the live. So I'm just looking over at our my list here. So, I know for weeks I've been talking about adding additional items to the website. There's quite a few of you guys that are waiting for the Ashlock holders. They are now live on the site. Katie just added those Ashlock holders, so they're on there. I've got a limited number available, so I know Ken from Michigan is wanting to order some, so if you're wanting to order some, make sure you order them quick. I'll show you guys the two different styles that we have. I don't have any planes with them on right now because they're all gone. So I'll just show you these ones. Sorry, no camera person today, so you get to see some funny angles. All right, so probably the most popular ones that I envision are these guys right here. So this is a 3-pin ashlock holder. So this holds the female side of the ashlock connectors. They're slotted, so you can put these in afterwards. So you can run all your wires and then get these installed. I don't make them. Don't ask for the STL file. My friend Joe from RC Custom 3D Printing, this is his design. There's lots of designs like this out there, but this is his original design. And then the other one is, these come in 3, 6, 9, 12. And the other one is kind of this surface mount one. So this is what we used in the F100 from Carf as an example. I don't know if I showed that. I think I showed it in the videos already. You can see there, it either glues down or screws down. So this would be something where you're like on the Corsair, where you're maybe plugging in the wing, so you could use something like that and mount it on a surface. So those are the different styles that we've got. And I've only got, like, for example, these guys, I've only ordered a handful of them. I initially did that order just to take a look at them. All the flush mount ones, I've got a few more in stock, and I just got some more 12s in because they are the most popular ones. So yeah, so the ashlock holders are on the website, and oops, there we go. So yeah, they're on the website, and there'll be a few more things like some MAP UATs, stuff like that, but I know the biggest thing was the ashlock holders that we've been waiting for. So 2 more things. Number 1, we added some solar panels to Artemis, and number 2, one of the things we're going to do tonight is I'm going to show you guys how to update the hubs, the Pro hubs, on a Xicoy engine. So this afternoon, I added some solar panels, permanent solar panels, to the roof of Artemis. So I can show you guys those because I can get you up on the stick and show you, I think. Let's see how this works. All right, so I won't be able to see. I'm going to make the assumption that you guys can see. So yeah, so there's the solar panels. Hopefully that worked. I couldn't see my camera. But yeah, we added 2 200-watt solar panels to Artemis, which is awesome. So it's been fine using the portable solar panel. But like when we were in Montana, as an example, I had like 5 people charging here in the trailer, so it was okay, but I did have to run my generator 2 times over that week. But the nice thing is I just run the generator for about an hour, and it fast charges the batteries, and then it's fine. So the nice thing with the solar is it will basically keep everything topped up and charged all the time, right? So that's going to be one of the big benefits to it. You know, as we're driving, everything is charging. So yeah, so that is all the updates. Had a blast in Montana, lots of good flying, and it was great. So get to some questions here, and then we will take a look at the BDX behind me, and we will do our update on the Xicoy hubs. Oh, and here's Cinder. Hi. Yeah. All right, so let's get to some questions here. Oh yeah, what crimping tool do I use? That's a good question. Okay, so I think that's the only question. If I missed your question, ask it again if you had a question. So what crimping tool do I use? If you go on the DreamWorks website or the PowerBox USA website, That's the crimping tool that I use. It is, I mean, it's the one that works. So I've had this pair. This is my original pair. So I've had this pair for probably 10 years, I think. I just ordered a replacement pair. I don't even use them. I just keep using this pair because there's nothing wrong with them. And I've crimped literally thousands of crimps with this thing. Like maybe 10,000, but thousands of crimps with this, and it's perfect. So that's the one I use. It works well. I have the whole system figured out, and it's awesome. So let's see here. So Floyd said, how long do you think it will take to complete that Carf F4? So if you watch the video, plane it arrived as a plug and play. So conceivably, you could put in your receivers, plug everything in, sort out the power supply, put your engines in, and fly the plane. They used McGregor servos, which is what kind of I don't know anything about them, but if you look on Carf's website, if you order a plane, they're going to be coming with McGregor servos. So I don't know anything about them. And the problem is, we like to do things consistently, and consistency is the key to success. I see lots of people trying different things, switching things up, doing this, flying the plane, taking it apart, putting something new in. I am as against that as you can possibly imagine. So we've got a system that we use, and the system is successful. So we repeat that system with pretty much all of our aircraft, unless I have a customer that wants something different. So when a customer comes to me and says, hey, I'm building a P-47, can you build it for me? I use Jeti, and have at her. So we have the system we're going to follow to put that plane together, and we don't deviate from that system because it's successful and it works. So what that means with this is David, the owner, who's on here right now, and you guys saw on the unboxing, we on his planes use MKS servos. That's basically what we use on everything that we do for David, and his other planes that other people build for him, they're using the same thing. So we are going to be switching all of the servos to MKS servos. All of those MKS servos will be burnt in or cycled like we normally do. That would be a thing that probably didn't happen on these servos. I don't suspect the manufacturers put them through 990 cycles or 1,000 cycles. So all of the replacement servos that we put on this plane will be cycled. We're going to go through everything, right? We're going to check everything for Loctite. Check the wiring, check the servo installation, all that stuff is going to be gone through. So that's the long answer to your question. The short answer is it's probably a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks of work, I would say, because you're taking everything apart and putting it back together. So it is a fair bit of work. The lighting kit's already installed, which is great. Then we have to figure out the power distribution system. But again, we're following the same system that we use for basically all of the big scale planes. So as an example, this aircraft will have 4 3-cell batteries. There'll be 4,000 milliamp batteries, and they'll be run off of a Central Box 310. And we're also having a 210 in there as well too. So that's the plan. Let's see here. So Motorcycle Nut said, hey Jonathan, I have a Carf F100. I'm going to maiden it in about a week or two. Can you tell me where your CG ended up? If you watch the last video on Wednesday, that will have all that information in there, and we do the CG and everything with the plane. So we had to add, I think 2 or 3 strips of nose weight in front of the battery tray or batteries installed in the nose. So really wasn't much, and the CG was perfect on all 3 flights. We didn't change it. So, but we went, I'm just not telling you what the number is because I don't have it. I have to look up the book and find out where it is. But there's a range of about 1/4 inch. We were right in the middle of the range, so that's what we did. Sheldon said, Nez, I noticed on the F100 video there were clamps on the fly right stand. Was that plane too heavy and the cradle slipped down? Not really. One of the things with that, what was I doing? I can't remember what I was doing, but I was adding pressure to the stand, and it was slipping down if I pushed really hard. So one of the things with that fly right stand that the F100 was on is it's got dials on it for the holders, and it's also the dual beam one. The replacement stand I got here, or the newest stand I got, I should say, not replacement, but the newest stand I got, Ben doesn't know this yet, the owner, or the owner of Fly-Right, but I had some of these arms in stock here from one of his other stands, so I just changed those out to the arms, and they allow you to tighten it down more, so that's all. But you can put heavy planes on there, no problem. Oh my gosh, I keep pushing the button. Ward said, does 100 crimps to my one. Floyd said, I'll rephrase with your way. How long will it take? Yes, your way works far better than what I see out there. In this format, like I said, it'll probably be from, we're going to order all the parts in, and it's probably going to take me 2 weeks, I would say, to get that thing 100% ready. Thanks, David. Appreciate that. Yeah. And there's lots of examples out there, I think, of people that are using different things in all their aircraft, and just it's confusing, and they're confused. So. All right, so let's, gotta let Nez inside because she wants to go in. There you go, buddy. All right, Sal, I saw your question. I'll get to it in a second here. Kenneth, how are you? So how do you have the BDX tail on the rear cradle of the fly-right stand? Good question. I'll show you, I'll flip you guys around and show you. There we go. So I have the plane right there behind the flap, obviously. So the saddle doesn't work really well if you move the plane too far forward. With nothing in the nose of the plane, so we don't have our nose stuff installed yet. I do have an exercise ball in here, and yeah, that helps change the weight. But if I take this out, then it still balances okay, but it's not super heavy on the nose. Once we get all of our equipment installed and everything, it'll work really well. I guess, by the way, here's the BDX. So we've done a little, well, actually there's lots done already, but pitot tubes installed in the nose. You can see there's the pitot tube just poking out. I've already preemptively added some weight to the nose as well too, so I added some lead sheet in there. Pretty much know exactly how much we're going to need. And this is the BDX battery tray. This is also something we need to add to the website because this is a little bit wider than our standard 4-battery holder. So the standard 4-battery holder works for most batteries. This one's about 6 millimeters wider, so it maximizes this space, and you can fit a little bit bigger batteries in there. So we'll be adding an XL version on the website. So yeah, that's the BDX. It's going to have a fuel bag if you are not on Facebook. So our fuel containment device is going right here. This is some of the structure we've added. So this is the rear former, this is the front former, and this is glued to the base and also glued right there to the intakes. This guy is glued to the wing tube structure, and it's also glued with aero epoxy to that structure. So yeah, so that's that's the BDX so far. It's going together quite quickly. The maiden's going to be happening this coming week at a local event here, so this will be done probably by the end of the day tomorrow. So tail's all done, rear section's all done, turbine's mounted. I know how all the equipment's getting laid out, and we are just working on wings now. So the wings are sitting over there, and just getting started with the wings. So we'll get the wings done tomorrow, and then probably most of the wiring done on Sunday, Monday kind of thing. So what I wanted to share with you guys was how to update. Let me just extend you. And I'll flip you around. How to update the Pro hubs for Xicoy. So these hubs have had many updates. So last year I installed a 240 Pro hub into my BDX, and I just updated it today, and it went from I think 1.03 to 1.19. So want to make sure that we get those updated, and I think this one's probably going to be updated already, but this at least lets me show you guys how this all works. So this is a 160. This 160 is going to be going in Mr. David Jet Guy's number 3 Picaro, because people just keep buying them from him. All right, so nice. So we'll open up the computer. So let me make sure that you guys can see this here. I'll try and get you as close as possible. Oh, that's better. All right, so there's this program called Hub Pro 1.0 from Xicoy. That's the program we're going to use. And then our most recent update is the file right here, which is a bin file, and that's 1.9 is the most current software for the Pro Hub. So we're going to plug in our USB, and we're going to plug it into the Pro Hub right there. So this is a, what is that, a USB-C or something like that? The new Apple charger is what it is, or what I call it. So you'll see that it lights up. And then we open up the Hub Pro program. Searches for the device. So yes, it's got 1.9 already on it. So we'll update it to 1.9 again. So we'll hit update. It opens up a separate browser, and we go to the correct bin file. So we're going to pick Hub Pro 1.9, and it erases the Pro Hub, and it's now programming the Pro Hub, and that's it. It disconnects. I heard it disconnect. We'll close this. Check and make sure that our little thingy, our USB port's closed, which it is, and that's it. So all of the new hubs are coming with 1.9, or at least the ones that we've gotten in the past week. But if you happen to be watching this video in the future at some point, there's pretty much, there's been regular releases for that Hub Pro over the past few months. So I suspect there'll be some more updates probably soon. So that's how to update the Pro Hub on a Xicoy. Saw some other stuff pop up there. Billy, what's up with the Corsair with the Moki? Well, that Corsair is mine, and it will be started here in the fall. I have figured out the scheme, and I actually need to still bring up the scheme, and I'll show you guys in a second here. We'll do it on this computer, so we'll talk more about that. Billy said, are the Jeti and most of the software iOS compatible yet? I stopped flying helis because VBAR and all the software needed Windows. Yeah. So yeah, as David said, thanks David. For Jeti, the iOS, you can use a Mac computer. That's all I use myself. This computer here is 13 years old, and the only reason I have this computer, it's a Surface whatever, the only reason I have this computer is for all of my flying devices. But otherwise, I've got my Macs and all that stuff that I use for everything else. So yeah, I feel your pain. Sorry guys, just having a drink. All right, so let's flip this around and look at Corsair scheme. So I think, let's see here. I think I can find the Corsair scheme. Maybe it's saved in my history. Yeah, there it is, Quantico scheme. Haha, so that's it. Oh, David, what color shirt? A medium for you. Teal color. I've never seen that one, but it's a medium, so that's your size. It's a little bit darker than the other blue one. So this is the scheme that we're doing. So the Quantico scheme is the one, and this is the nomenclature layout that we'll be doing. So this is the numbers that I've ordered from TaylorMade. Yeah, so that's the scheme that we're doing. Now it's a little bit skewed, and the reason it's a little bit skewed is because that Corsair is not an F4U Corsair. The new Corsair that Carf has come out with is the Dash 4U version. So this has the 3-bladed prop, doesn't have the inlet on the bottom of the cowl, but that's okay, I don't care. But the reason I went with this scheme is because it's different, and I like things to look different. I didn't want the standard blue Corsair. And yeah, it's not my cup of tea, so this is what we are going with, and I think it's going to be awesome. So yeah, we've got all the paint figured out. Obviously, we're going to be missing some of the details, like right there, the exhaust. You know, our Corsair has the exhaust down here. But one of the cool things we have coming is, I think Ben's announced this. So Ben at Flyride RC, he is going to be the North American distributor for the cowl flaps for the Corsair, the Carf Corsair, and the P47. So we have a set of those cowl flaps that are going to be coming soon, and we will integrate that with the Corsair as well. So, sorry about the earthquake. So yeah, Kelly originally did the mounting of the cowl, but when you do the flaps, the cowl flaps, that gets all changed. So basically, this panel line gets cut off of the cowl, and this is all going to be operational. So these flaps, they're all made of metal, or they will be made of metal. They are made of metal. They operate like this, and all on one servo, which I think gets mounted near the base. So anyways, that's going to be a cool change. So it's nice to finally have the color scheme picked, because I've been really waffling on that for months now, and it's been a bit of a struggle trying to figure that out. And I did initially think about doing just the standard blue scheme, and then I waffled into maybe one of the racer schemes, but Kelly did such a beautiful job on the cockpit painting and everything so far that I couldn't bring myself to do a sports scheme on it, even though I think it would be cool. So we ended up going with the Quantico scheme, which you guys saw. So yeah, so that's the plan for that guy. Awesome, thank you guys. Arnaud, are you going to do a video about the painting? Yes, we're going to do a full detail about the Corsair painting. One of the nice things about the Carf kits like that is there's really not a lot of prep to do for the aircraft. So the silver primer, I guess if you want to call it that, the silver finish on the Carf kits, basically you just take like a wire brush or Brillo pad or whatever you call it, and all you have to do is give it a light sanding or just, you know, scuffing of the surfaces, and you put your paint right over top of that. So you don't want to be filling it with primer or anything like that because you lose all that detail. So it's yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to do some mild weathering on that Quantico scheme, and it's going to be very, very light, but I think it'll look really sharp, like filling in all the rivets, doing a couple, you know, a little bit of stuff, a lot like the F4 here. I mean, this isn't heavy weathering. It's, you know, it's I would say it's pretty mild weathering, but it's beautiful. So that's kind of what we're going to do with the Quantico scheme, and it's going to look good. So yeah, but yeah, we'll be videoing all that stuff as well. So right now we're just gathering parts. So nomenclature kits en route. I need to order pilot, and everything else I think we already have. We've got the engine, we've got all the small parts, we've got a compressor, we've got all the air cylinders, the gears already mounted. So Kelly's done a bunch of that stuff as well too, which is great. Servos we always have in stock. And yeah, so it's going to be just a couple little parts to gather up, and then we'll be able to get going on it. Jake said, have you seen Rami RC? Yes. Any idea now he has a Jeti radio calling out the airspeed of the model? It only says whole numbers without the units. I think learn stalls. Yes, the airspeed is a very simple concept. I'll grab my Jeti radio and I can teach you that right now. So if you have your Jeti radio, grab it and we'll go through that together. So let's do this. And yes, I know Rami. We were at Jet Power last year, met him at the flight line. He came up to me and said, so cool to meet you. I watch all of your videos. That was pretty cool because, yeah, Rami's quite a popular YouTuber, as we all know. So it was kind of nice, very good compliment to hear that. So let me just get organized here. All right, so all of my airplanes, yeah, all of the planes right now have airspeed call out. Yes, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So all of my planes have airspeed call out when you're landing. Okay, so let me show you what you're talking about here, or what we're talking about. Awesome, Jake. Good man. So what you need to do is, I'm going to just go to one of my models first. Okay, so we'll go to one of my standard models. So we'll go to the BDX. So we've got our M speed there, and obviously it's not calling out speed because there is no speed. So if you don't do what I'm going to show you, your radio will say speed 10 miles an hour, speed 10 miles an hour, right? So in the actual call out, I'll show you how we're doing that just so you can see how it's done. I don't do it very often, so we got to go into this. We got to go into voice output. So we've got this one set up a little bit different because we've got slow mode on the aircraft. So the actual switch, if I don't have slow mode set up on an aircraft, then it's just going to be my flight mode or my flap switch. When I go to full flaps, then it's going to call out my speed. But with slow mode, we've got a logical switch set up, and that logical switch says either in slow mode or in full flaps. That's what it means. So sensors and variables, so velocity, repeat, we can change this to high, doesn't matter. But yeah, so everything else is off, and the only thing it's calling out is my velocity. Speed here isn't the correct one. You want to do velocity. So if my plane was on and I went here, it would say 10 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. Now I'll show you how to make it say that, just the speed, and not call out the word speed. So we'll power this off. We will go to the laptop. So if you have a laptop, pull it out. You don't need to do this while I'm doing it, but you can if you have everything available. But this is easy to remember. There's nothing really overly crazy with this, what I'm about to show you. So we're going to plug in our cable into the laptop, and you could do this on a Mac as well too. I'm just going to close this. Okay, so now we'll plug in the Jeti. Start transmitter,
Hello,
yes.
Magic. Happy flying.
Connect to USB, yes. So I'm going to let that load up for a sec. I'm just going to grab a drink. All right. So this is where the important stuff comes in. So what is it? Voice? I can't remember. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. So if you go into voice, you will have a speed file, but your speed file will just say speed. Okay? So every time you update your radio, this gets repopulated with the word speed. So what you do is you rename this, so right click on it, rename it, and what you do is you change that to read out speed 1. I'll just try and get it close up here so you can see it. So there you go, so speed 1. So as soon as you change that to speed 1, the radio no longer sees that voice file. So what happens is when your radio is, I was going to say but when your radio is doing your voice call out, it doesn't see that speed word. So all it's going to do is say your actual speed. So it'll say 10 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. So just remember that if you update your radio to a new firmware again, let's say one comes out tomorrow, you update your radio, you have to do that exact same thing. So you go back in and you change that voice file to read speed 1. And that's how you get rid of that speed word call out on your radio.
BDX.
So hopefully that helps you. But that's it. Part of Jeti, Jeti University 201, not 101. All right. Thank you, David. Perfect. Yes, and that's a good point, Arnaud. So all of our planes that we do, or all of my planes, but most of the planes that we do here, all get a pitot tube, right? The pitot tube is important because it's giving you airspeed. So when I was flying in Towfield 3 weeks ago, I think, the Saturday there, which was like the day of the air show, lots of people from the town came out, and we had like 35, 40 kilometer an hour winds. And I was flying my BDX in those winds. It was straight down the runway. And when I was landing, I could have had the plane sitting there almost hovering, because it doesn't stall until like 30 miles an hour. So when I'm landing, that airspeed, the actual airspeed is critical because you're keeping some throttle to actually keep the plane moving forward, but you want to make sure that it's airspeed. GPS, totally different. GPS is okay, but as was mentioned, it's not a true representation of what's flowing over the wings. That's why it's important. Awesome. The other thing we were kind of talking about while we were down in Montana was doing so I think last year we talked about doing an in-person course here at the shop, just about general stuff. But I was thinking it might be better to do it on Jeti. And I think that would be very popular with people to do a Jeti course. It would be a one-day type thing, and maybe we could also do it in the US. We have to find a location to do it. But if people fly in here from wherever you are, locals or anywhere, fly in here, bring your radio with you, bring a receiver, and we will start from scratch and basically set up a new plane and do all those processes. So just an idea, kind of brainstorming and spitballing at this point, but I thought that was kind of a cool thing to do. A little bit more focused on the Jeti stuff rather than just general aircraft stuff. So anyway, it's just one of the ideas that that popped up over the past week. So that is, I think, all the stuff I had to share with you. And Nez is going in my radio case. Nobody. Yeah, so if you guys have any further questions, let me know. We'll stick on here for a few minutes if you have any other questions, but yeah, it's good. It's been a good season of flying so far. Just talking about upcoming events and stuff. So we've got Saskatoon happening this coming week. So we'll be going to Saskatoon on Wednesday and be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, come back on Sunday. Beautiful RC field. It's like Field of Dreams for RC stuff. And here in Canada, we don't have that type of stuff. So to see what these guys put into that field is absolutely stellar. There's paved runway, there's grass runway, so you can take off on the paved runway, land on the grass runway, don't need to use brakes. It's just amazing. Clubhouse, I did a little video segment on it last year, but clubhouse, shop area, you can store your, like, it's just amazing. Heated, irrigation, like, it's just phenomenal. So yeah, it's a true Field of Dreams. So that's coming up this coming week. LA Jets, I think is what it's called. Is that right, David? LA Jets in August. So I'll be in LA the 22nd, 3rd, 4th. I think we'll be in LA. Yes, so August 23rd, perfect. So I'll be in LA at that time at the event, but doing some other things as well too. And then what else? And then we've got Jet Power happening in middle of September-ish. So we're going to be at Jet Power for a week-ish, and we come back, and then the plan is to drive down to Phoenix and then go to Turbines and Tumbleweeds for the beginning of October. So lots of stuff packed in. So Jet Power is September 17th to the 21st. That's perfect. So it's going to be a busy few months here, and looking forward to it. It's awesome. And lots of good flying underway. Turbines and Tumbleweeds is going to be a blast. If you guys are coming to that at all, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Just a heads up, I'm thinking about selling some planes at that event, like my own planes, just to kind of move some stuff and put some new orders in for next year and things. So yeah, 19th to 21st for Jet Power, 19, 20, 21, that's right. So yeah, if you're interested, like I'd be interested in selling my Atom. It's fun, I enjoy it, I've had a blast flying it, but the hovering thing isn't exactly my cup of tea. But yeah, anyways, if you're if you are interested in any of the planes that I own, let me know. I don't necessarily want to sell some of them, so some of them are my keeper planes, but anyways, just throwing that out there. We do have a local guy that has some, making some room exactly. So just to clarify, like I'd be willing to sell my Atom. My personal BDX, the one with my logo on it, I would be willing to sell that. I would replace it with another BDX. There's nothing wrong with my BDX, just something new, different color scheme. I'd like to build a new one. Actually, the reason I want to build a new one is I want to put a fuel bag in it, a fuel containment device. Sorry, we don't use bags here. And my Atom, I already said that. My Rebel Classic kind of has somebody in the queue for it, but interested in selling my Rebel Classic. And yeah, just to make some room, I'm going to order one of the BDX XLs as well. So maybe I won't have a regular BDX. I'll just go to the XL. I don't know. But anyways, if you're interested in some of those planes, they might be for sale at the event. Also, very likely that we'll be bringing the A10 that I completed last year, I think, the Black Snake one. Very likely I'll be bringing that to the event. If the owner can come to the event, we'll do the maiden or we'll do the first flights there. And that might be for sale. I don't really know what the plan is for that one, but that one might be coming as well too. So anyways, that's the plan. Yeah, BDX XL. I think they're just calling it a BDXL because there's the BDXS, which is the small. There's the BDX, which is the regular. And then the BDXL, which is the large, which is going to be mental. Like same size as the F4. Crazy. So yeah, looking forward to it. Lots of fun planes. I'm going to be finishing my Corsair as well too this winter. I really want to finish the T33. You guys, if you're new to the channel, you may not have ever seen that yet, but I started on some T33 videos last year and haven't done anything with it. It's way up high, and so I really want to get that T33 finished. It's a nice little small plane, and I'll just do it up nice and scale, and it'll be awesome. So yeah, so Arnaud, that's cool. We're very likely, the plan is we're going to drive down to Phoenix first for a few days to do some flying, and then on the Wednesday-ish we'll drive over to Texas, which is a far drive, but you know, we'll just drive over to Texas, not a big deal. And it's like, you know, 11 hours of driving, I think. But anyways, that's the plan. As far as details on the A10, I did cover that in like a 5-part build. So, you know, you can actually see the build of that aircraft, but it's all set up for Jeti. I will email you the details or shoot me an email and I'll send them to you. But it's exactly how I would set the plane up. I actually built it as if it was mine, and I would like to own it as well too. But so anyways, lots of things I want to own. Yeah, so that's basically it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, I forgot one more thing. Man, there's so many cool things. I don't think I wrote this down. No, I didn't write it down. Right there. We got a Make Era Corsair CNC machine. So have not opened it yet. It showed up about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think. And it's just been sitting there. It's been busy. I've been busy. So anyways, that's a cool addition for the shop. I think it will fit right there in between my 2 bamboos, or at least we'll move the bamboos over and it'll fit on that table. But yeah, we do have a desktop, tabletop CNC machine, and looking forward to playing around with that thing. There'll be a video on it as well too. Yeah, so a new addition to the shop. Really excited for that. Don't really know how to use it yet. Don't really know what I'm going to use it for yet. But those tools are nice to have. So anyways, guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream. It's been a blast. It's been a minute since we did one of these lives. So yes, awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know when the next one's going to be, because in 2 weeks from now, oh yeah, probably 2 weeks. We'll do another one in 2 weeks. That's the plan. So anyways, we'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.